Okay, hopefully this camera doesn't give me any problems. If so, we'll have to pull over and fix it.
Today we're doing the big ride on the Vulcan 900. We're going cross country, 1,000 miles, to a little town outside of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It'll be a multi-day trip. I'm not going to try to do an iron butt or anything like that. All right, we're on the highway. We're going to be on I-35 pretty much the entire way. At least until we get in Iowa, we'll have to turn east. And I won't show this whole trip. But there are a couple of milestones that I will put up. This is going to be exciting for me. I have never taken the Vulcan across the state line. And today's trip, 400 miles, will pretty much be the longest trip I've ever taken in one day on the Vulcan. And then of course we're going to have to redo it, and I don't want to do too much because I was thinking about making it 2 days, 2 500-mile days, but whereas I could probably do one reasonably easy on the first day, I don't know if I'd want to get up and do it again. So we're going to break it up. We're going to do 2 400-mile legs and then a final 200-mile day. And then we'll see how I feel on the way back, what I want to do. Okay, we're coming up on our first milestone for the trip, and that is the split. On 35 west goes to Fort Worth, and 35 east goes to Dallas, and we are going to Fort Worth. Okay, we are on 35 west. We are looking for exit 16 to get gas for the first time. We are about 125 miles into the trip, and it is 10:08. All right, my first stop, 143 miles. Took me about 2.5 hours to get here. Not really bad, considering we had all the lights to go through initially. But I'm hanging around 70, 75, and I'm not the slowest one on the road, but I'm definitely not the fastest. I forgot to have breakfast today. I had my coffee and then forgot. Our next stop will be in Oklahoma. You see here, what time is it now? It's 10:48. So about a 20-minute break. All right, we are in Fort Worth, coming up on our entrance ramp to the toll road. It's a good bypass because it slows down quite a bit. I do have an easy pass, so I'm good for the toll on my bike. Also good for all the roads in Texas, all the toll roads in Texas, as well as a lot of the toll roads across the nation, including the one in Kansas. You know, 35 is a toll road in Kansas. I think I had to pay cash one time a few years ago, and it was I think $7 to go across the state. All right, the express lane ends. Got to merge back onto 35 west. Done. All right, we're coming up to the 35 east west junction. I always forget about that entrance ramp because they haven't marked it in a while. Here we are though. We are now on 35, going to Oklahoma City. We are crossing over the Red River, which means we're coming into Oklahoma, and it is 12:30. We've come about 250 miles. I think I'm going to pull in here, go ahead and take another break. I'm gonna get gas in about 20 miles, but I'm gonna take a really good break. This is a really pretty rest area. I'll show it to you. There is the Welcome to Oklahoma sign right there. There we go. We'll get up in here. Let me show you the Welcome Center for Oklahoma. Of course, the Welcome Center's down there, but here's some picnic benches. This is a beautiful area, nice and cool. Thought I would take a break here because I know this is really good shade and very cool area, and I'm gonna cool off a little while. It's getting a little warm. It's a beautiful place. Cool down a little bit. Drink a lot of water, Gatorade. But I still got to stop in about 25 miles up the road, get gas, and then that's our last stop before we get into Guthrie. I might end up taking another break somewhere. Okay, this was our last stop before our final destination for the day. Well, last gas stop. I may stop again just to rest. Make a good time. Okay, our exit for Guthrie is only about 120 miles away. It's on the other side of Oklahoma City. And I think we're about 85 miles out of Oklahoma City. Something like that. 90 maybe. Who knew Oklahoma was so beautiful? I didn't. I mean, I've known it for a few years now. But I remember when it took me by surprise. In Norman, Oklahoma, on the outskirts of Oklahoma City, that's where the traffic started piling up, and road weariness started to creep into my bones, so I had to find a place to pull over for a few minutes. I was in pain. Got a little cloud cover. It helps. But I'm probably about 70 miles away from my hotel, so hopefully I can make it. Okay, I'm at my La Quinta. They had rooms for me. And I'm about to hop on the bike, and there's a Brahms right down the road there. I'm going to head to that. And I don't have any gear on, but I'm just staying kind of almost like in a parking lot, so it's okay. All right, see you there. All right, that's what you get for $9.25. Milkshake, quarter pounder, fries. That's where I ate. It's really good. Brahms. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. About get on the road here for a second. My next gas is the Towanda service station, which should be about 143 miles. That is in Kansas. Slept well, but there was no coffee. That's a deal killer. I mean, it finally came about 7 o'clock, but who wants to wait till 7 o'clock? After Guthrie, the vista became flat
and green and monotonous, and I rode under gray skies, always threatening to storm. Coming from Texas, I never really appreciated the sheer size of Oklahoma until I rode through it from south to north. But finally the clouds parted when I got to Kansas City. Still in Kansas City, but on the Missouri side of the border, you have to keep a sharp eye out for the exits just to stay on I-35. After crossing over the iconic bridge over the Missouri River, I finally left Kansas City behind. My next stop, Bethany, Missouri. Another 400 miles down and I was ready to call it a day. Mine was the first motorcycle in the parking lot of the hotel. But there'd be plenty more by morning as a strong storm was headed our way. And for once, the weatherman was spot on. And by the morning, my bike had never been so clean. This was my last hotel before I go see my sister. She's about 240 miles away. Should make it there by about noon. It's 7:30 right now. So far, we've already gone 820 miles. Oh. See y'all on the road. Interstate 35 wraps around Des Moines, Iowa, and shares a section of road with Interstate 80. I let I-35 go its own way, headed north, while I stay on I-80 and head east towards Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in my final destination.
Last push is Cedar Rapids.
I don't show it here, but I spotted something wrong with my bike.
About 60 miles away.
Just outside of Cedar Rapids, I start headed east again on State Highway 30, and a wave of relief comes over me, knowing that I'm almost there. And it is 11:52. Unfortunately, that issue that I spotted about 60 miles back would put a damper on my whole trip. Welcome to Iowa, everyone. That's my view. It's a beautiful view in the morning. Here's my bike, and there's my leak. The first mechanical issue I've ever had on my Vulcan. There's the reservoir right there, and it is full and overflowing. And I noticed that, about 60 miles after my last break. That's what I get for taking a break. When I started out, it was 17,900, so I came 1,067 miles. I just had the radiator flushed a couple of thousand miles ago, really, but this is the hardest trip that I've ever gone on. Air in the system, that would cause it. Another thing could be a bad radiator cap. Worst case scenario is a blown head gasket. So exhaust is pushing the fluid out. So hopefully that's not it. Hopefully it's something simple. It's Monday. You know the dealerships are closed on Sundays and Mondays. So I'll call them tomorrow morning and I will keep you updated. So I hope they can get me in and out quick, because there's a lot of pretty roads here I'd love to explore while I'm here. It's gorgeous out here. After failing to procure a radiator cap locally, we went ahead and decided to go the Amazon route and just live with the 2-day shipping. Unfortunately, as seems to be par for the course for Amazon now, the promised delivery date was pushed back to Saturday. With the window of reasonable weather quickly closing on me, I decided to go ahead and pack up, strap a bottle of antifreeze to the top of my pack, and take the tools required to refill my radiator if I needed to on the way home. And I babied it for 2 days at 70 miles an hour all the way to Guthrie, Oklahoma. So after 1,737 miles, my road trip has come to an abrupt end about 400 miles from home. My wife is coming to get me, and we're going to trailer the bike all the way back home. Let me show you why. Driving down the road, I saw my light reflected on a silver trailer on a semi, and I thought that was weird. I thought it was kind of high. I didn't really pay any attention to it. I noticed this when I just filled up. This side as well. You guys notice the rust here too? This seems to predate my trip. And it's holding there. But there's no way it's gonna make it back to Austin. I'm not gonna use baling wire or anything like that. I just don't wanna risk it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. The radiator thing was a fluke. I'm using the old radiator cap and it's still working, no problems with that. If it was there, I'm not gonna blame that on the Vulcan. As a quick update, I've since put a couple of 100 more miles on the bike and haven't had any radiator issues at all. And lucky for me, I also happen to have a spare bracket for my light. So the bike is up and running, and hopefully we'll have new adventures coming soon.